Gold is up, silver is up, and everyone's talking about de-dollarization like the dollar's done for and that America is cooked, but not so fast. I've been following one of the top economists in the world, Martin Armstrong, and his latest insights really surprised me. He's been dead on about global trends before, and what he's predicting now, it's not just about money or markets, it's about war, power, and whether the US dollar actually survives and what's coming next. In this video, I'm going to break it down for you. Armstrong's take on World War III, the collapse of NATO, what's really going on with gold, and how China and Russia are quietly reshaping the New World Order. Whether you agree with him or not, his message is clear. Global chaos isn't just coming, it's already happening, and it will affect your finances. The war has already started. So what exactly is Martin Armstrong saying? Well, according to him, World War III has already begun, but not in the way most people think. Not tanks rolling across Europe, not mushroom clouds. The war is playing out through a series of smaller regional conflicts, and it's spreading like a disease. He calls it a contagion. You see it with Russia and Ukraine, you see it brewing with China and Taiwan, and even the Philippines. In the Middle East, Israel, Iran, Lebanon, and Syria, even Venezuela and Guyana are suddenly on the brink of conflict. And this isn't random. Armstrong argues that economic chaos leads to global conflict. Just like the Great Depression helped pave the way for World War II, he believes today's financial system is collapsing, and war is a natural progression. Not because people want war, but because governments need a distraction, a way to rally the people, blame someone else, and kick the economic problems a little further down the road. It's not about ideology, it's about money. And history shows over and over again, when debt gets too high and when trust in governments breaks down, war tends to follow. So it feels like the world is getting more chaotic. That's because it is. But according to Armstrong, it's just the beginning. Trump versus the world. Now here's where things really heat up. Armstrong says the world used to revolve around America, our economy, our military, our dollar. We were the center of influence. But since Trump returned to the White House nearly a year ago, he signed a flurry of executive orders and reignited global tensions with the controversial tariffs and aggressive trade agenda. To many Americans, he's fixing the system, but to the rest of the world, it feels like economic warfare all over again. China, Russia, and the BRICS nations aren't sitting still. They've ramped up de-dollarization, they're selling US treasuries, and moved even more aggressively into gold and direct trade agreements. Even long-term allies are questioning US dominance, some joining alternative alliances and platforms to bypass American influence. According to Armstrong, Trump's policies aren't just disrupting trade, they're reshaping the global financial order. And the US is no longer calling all the shots. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't about politics. It's about geopolitical consequences, because the real war unfolding right now, it may not involve bullets or bombs. It may be fought with currencies, capital, and global alliances. The dollar's last stand. For decades, the US dollar has been the king of the hill. Not just our currency, but the world's reserve currency. That meant every country needed dollars to trade, buy oil, or pay debts. And in return, America could print as much as it wanted. That privilege, the exorbitant privilege, as some economists call it, gave the US immense power. But Martin Armstrong warns that era is coming to an end. Why? Because countries are losing trust, not just in the dollar, but in America's ability to manage its finances. He points to our unsustainable debt, rising interest costs, and growing talk of capital controls and central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Now think about that for a second. We're talking about a government-issued digital dollar that could be tracked, controlled, and potentially frozen. Armstrong believes once CBDCs are rolled out, capital could start fleeing Western markets at an even faster pace, especially from Europe, where he sees the crisis hitting first. But make no mistake, if the US follows Europe down the same path, it's not just about privacy or control. It's about the dollar's future. And as more countries ditch the dollar for gold or local currencies, America's global influence starts to fade. Gold, the global lifeboat. Here's something you won't hear much about on the news. Gold is quietly making a comeback. Central banks around the world, especially in the East, have been on a historic gold buying spree. They're underweighting US treasuries and loading up on gold, like they know something big is coming. China, Russia, India, even Saudi Arabia, they're all shifting reserves into hard money. Why? Because governments can break promises, but gold doesn't. Gold can't be printed, it can't be devalued with a keystroke. It's the ultimate hedge against debt, war, and currency collapse. And Armstrong says the world is beginning to see it that way again. Even here in the US, we're seeing signs. Physical gold demand is surging, supply is tight, premiums are rising, and retail investors, maybe for the first time in years, are starting to pay attention. Now, it's not about getting rich quick, it's about protecting what you have in a world that suddenly feels unstable again. According to Armstrong, the nations that survive what's coming will be the ones holding real assets, not debt-based promises. And that's why gold is back in the spotlight, because it holds its value when paper currencies and governments don't. So what does this mean for you? So yeah, the big question is, what do you do with all this? I know we've just covered a lot: global conflict, rising gold, falling trust in the dollar, in a world that's rapidly shifting under our feet. But Martin Armstrong isn't saying this to scare you. He's saying it to prepare you. And that's what I want to do too. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about governments and central banks. It's about your money, your family, and your future. So here are 3 takeaways. Number 1, stay informed. Don't wait for the mainstream media to tell you what's actually happening. They're usually too late. Pay attention to channels like this one, so subscribe already if you haven't. Number 2, own real things. Whether that's metals, a paid-off home, or a skill you can use. Real assets matter more than ever. That is, if or when trust in the system breaks down. Number 3, stay grounded. This isn't about fear, it's about preparation. The goal isn't to panic, it's to prepare wisely and live with peace of mind in an ever-changing world. And if you're watching this, you're already ahead of the curve. Most people are still asleep to what's coming. If you found this helpful, share it with someone you care about, and if you'd like more videos like this one, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to stay connected. You can also support the channel as a member here or on Patreon and get advanced access to videos before they're published, plus some extra behind the scenes updates. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.